welcome to the 10th episode of the Wildcat Podcast. This week's theme is conspiracy theories.
You didn't even say you're the host.
I know, I'm getting to that part, Logan. As you know, I am your host, Easton. Unfortunately, Logan's here if you've heard her. I am joined by Zeke, who has made a wonderful return. Alex, our editor-in-chief. And Nicole. Say hi, Nicole.
No.
That was a wonderful hi.
Oh, and our ex-producer.
Oh, and our ex-producer's over there staring at us with
I'll jump in from time to
with
time.
malicious intent of giving us an F, but you know that won't happen.
Oh, now I have to think about that.
Oh gosh, what'd you do now?
So like I said, this week's theme is conspiracy theories. Before we start that off, with our wonderful return from Zeke, what's our fact of the week?
Did you know that octopuses have 3 hearts?
3 hearts, you say? Octopuses?
Wow.
I know that now. That's interesting. Where'd you find that?
It's octopi.
Get out of here.
That's the plural of octopus.
All right, we're going to start off with a quick conspiracy theory, just so everyone knows we're not getting into anything, like, extremely...
I didn't.
That was a wonderful sneeze by our own Alex.
Our game.
That's going in the fall semester review.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
Did that
not...
land on Zeke? The sneeze?
We're not going to talk about anything like religious or any of that stuff because, you know,
Controversy.
yeah. Well, it's ironic there. All right, the first one, I found this one pretty interesting. It's pretty weird. I think it's also based off a cult. Like a cult believes in a lot of this stuff.
Wait, you can talk about cults, but we can't talk about religion.
Well, this is a cult. Like certain cults have
Oh boy.
like that. I'm talking about like mainstream, like like Christianity, Islam, all that stuff. I'm not talking about that. All right, so I'm not sure how to pronounce this. It's called like Nibiru or Planet X. Conspiracy theorists have long postulated, I don't know what that word is, a plot by organizations such as NASA to conceal the existence of a large planet in the solar system known as, I'm just going to call it Planet X, which will one day allegedly pass close enough to Earth to destroy it. Predictions for the date of destructions have included 2003, 2012, and 2017. Surprise, spoiler, if you don't want to know this, cover your ears now. It did not happen.
We were supposed to die 3 times?
Yes.
Oh, that was so far away.
The theory began to develop following the publication of The 12th Planet, which was published in 1976 by a discredited Russian-American author, Zakarian Sitchin. This was given the full name by Nancy Leidender and was since promoted by the American conspiracy theorist and end times theorist David Mead with an E. The notation has remained popular and received renewed attention during the period prior to the solar system eclipse of August 21st, 2017. What do y'all think of that one?
Interesting.
I lost you when you said you have a conspiracy theory.
That hurts. So, what do you think there's? What about you, ex-producer? Do you think there's a 12th planet?
Anybody should know see it.
I mean, we've died 3 times already, so...
Yeah, we should have been dead. Well, that first time we died, then the second one canceled that out, so we are technically dead.
Well, isn't there actually because there's 7 planets because Pluto's.
Well, there's certain requirements that.
True, but there's something orbiting our solar system, our sun, but it's on the opposite axis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way we know it is theorized to actually be possible is because we've detected its gravity or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So does anybody have any Mandela effects that they want to share?
Well, first of all, let's explain to the viewers what the Mandela Effect is, Logan.
You go. You got this.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yes.
You sort of
Okay.
put me on spot here.
Well, Mandela Effect is where, I'm just taking an example of Kit Kat. How do you think Kit Kat is spelled, or how it represents?
A
Is there
Kit Kat,
yeah.
the candy bar?
Yeah.
Kitkat.
Is there a dash or is there not a dash?
Well, there is, yeah.
No, there's not. Look it up.
So if you're telling me I look up a a Kit Kat
Basically,
bar.
it is the theory that there are
There's a-
possible alternate universes in which people
wow,
can,
there isn't.
in which
Yep.
people
Well, when you write it
can
down,
travel
people-
in and out of.
I
Yeah.
remember hearing about one. It was like Oh.
Do you want me to
what was
read the definition?
You
Yeah.
found the definition.
Yeah.
Well, because some people may not know what the Mandela Effect is.
The Mandela Effect is evidence that you may have.
Simplify it.
The Mandela Effect is that.
Hey.
The Mandela Effect is evidence that you may have experienced events from a different reality. Finding others with similar memories can affirm that.
How about okay? So it's borderline. It's like with the Berenstain Bears versus the Berenstein Bears.
It's really just false memory.
Yeah.
People remember it to be one thing, and then when they find
But,
out
like,
it's not,
If
they think it's something supernatural when they're just
Like the name
It's
gets
wrong.
it. The Mandela Effect gets its name from because people think that Nelson Mandela died. They believe he died in prison, but others believe
they just died a few years ago,
yeah.
and people can clearly remember him dying in prison back in like the 80s or something like that.
But then it also says that he died back in 2013,
yeah, something like that.
and then what's another one that I've heard of before?
The box of chocolates one. Have you heard that one?
No.
No.
Or they said like in the movie it says life is like a box of chocolates, but in
Oh, yeah,
reality
the
it
Forrest
said
Gump
life
one.
Yeah,
was.
Forrest Gump.
But in the movie it says life was like a box of chocolates, and like that, or like the Luke, I am your
Oh,
father.
what's the?
That's another one.
Oh, that's never. He never says.
Luke, I am your father. Yeah, he says. What did he say? I forgot.
He says.
Is it like no? I am your father.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Luke.
But
or
I
what was it?
remember
It's like,
him-
no, I am your father.
I remember him saying, "Luke, I am your father." Cause it's
No,
like,
there's the whole line where Luke's like, "You killed my father," and he goes, "No, I am your father." That's just everybody always remembers it as Luke, I am your father.
There's another one. Sorry, Easton.
That hurt. Okay, you're going next.
Yeah.
Okay, so another one that was debunked was "We Are the Champions" by Queen. People say they remember Freddie Mercury saying "of the world" at the end, but in the original version it just ends after "We Are the Champions." But there's an extended version where Freddie Mercury does say "of the world," so that debunked that.
And in concert, in live concert, whatever, he did say "of the world" at the end.
Yeah, that's the extended version.
okay, have you seen Mickey Mouse?
Yes, I've seen Mickey Mouse.
Does he or does he not wear suspenders?
No, he doesn't wear suspenders.
I always imagine him wearing suspenders.
No, he
Like
never
the
wore
little, like-
suspenders.
I got
He
one.
never
Okay,
did.
so many people recall the United States, including 51 or 52 states, not 50. The interesting point is that the memories are fairly consistent, and including Puerto Rico as a state. One teacher suggests that this is a common misunderstanding. The daughter of a teacher says she clearly recalls her mother teaching students that the 52 states included Puerto Rico.
Well, what?
So, is this simple confusion or a glimpse into an alternate geography in another time stream?
So wait, there's an argument that there were 52, but you only bring up Puerto Rico. That's
Yeah, I just-
What's the
I
second?
just-
What's the
just
second
reading.
one? What's the second one?
Oh no, I'm trying to find that. I doubt it'd be Guam.
Well, there's multiple territories.
American Samoa.
Yeah.
American Samoa, the Virgin Islands.
The
Zeke,
moon.
you found a little conspiracy theory. This one I looked at. It's ridiculous, to say the least. But go ahead and read out what it is.
Alright, so this one is, are birds actually government-issued drones that spy on
Oh my Jesus. Where is this podcast going to? You want to explain that?
Yeah, give it an explanation.
you? Alright, well, the CIA assassinated John F. Kennedy after he refused to kill and replace billions of birds with drones. The U.S. government is sequestering a team of Boeing engineers in Area 51 for a secret military mission. Our tax dollars have been funneled into the building of the Turkey X-500. a robot used to hunt large birds. Combine all these conspiracies and you get birds aren't real, a nearly 2-year-old movement that claims the CIA took out 12 billion feathered fugitives because directors within the organization were annoyed that birds had been dropping fecal matter on their car windows.
I think there's that. You can find the group's website. It's birdsaren'treal.com. It's blocked by the school, but they actively believe that birds don't exist, and it's hilarious.
So I found the answer to the 51 and 52nd state on mine.
All right.
The 51st state was Puerto Rico, and the 52nd state was Washington, D.C.
See that. There's no way that Washington, D.C. would ever become a state, because then the state government would try to do stuff with the federal government, like to control them, and that it's just Washington D.C. will never be a state.
So yeah, I can see how they would get confused sometimes with that, because Puerto Rico acts like a state; it should be a state, and D.C.
Yeah.
Because DC has like, doesn't it have like a bigger population than like Wyoming or something like that?
90% of the other states have a bigger population than Wyoming.
Well, isn't Wyoming like the
Well-
state with the smallest population or
Well,
something?
precisely in like the U.S. House of Representatives, like it depends on the population, how many representatives you get. There are only like 8 states that only have one. There's like Alaska, Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, I think Nebraska, and then Delaware. But yeah, it's weird like that. How about the most well-known conspiracy
Yes, Wyoming
theory?
Wyoming has the smallest population in the U.S. Well, U.S. states.
How about this? I think the most well-known conspiracy theory out there. Flat Earth.
Oh dear.
No.
What do you mean? Earth is shaped like a donut.
Nah. Everyone knows that exists.
If you believe what he said,
Flat Earth that's the least ridiculous ones.
You right.
like there's actually like a whole video about how the flat is Earth.
The
And
flat is
the
Earth.
Earth is flat.
The flat is Earth. Flat the Earth is.
Have you heard about this?
Flat Earth is.
Have you heard about the secret group controlling the world?
Group controlling world.
Secret.
Illuminati.
I think you're going through your grades. That you're just.
Do, 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 do,
What are you
do, do,
doing?
do.
You're looking at all the list of the states.
Yeah.
Does Wyoming exist?
No, it's Idaho that doesn't exist.
Okay, so
I don't get how people say that Idaho doesn't exist.
And yet we've never been to Alaska.
What do you mean by that?
Joking, of course.
have you seen the videos of lizard people, aka like?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Like lizard people are like controlling the world or
Like a
something.
Britney Spears, like her eye freaked out in one video, and it's like, oh, she's a lizard. Oh my God, she's taking over the world. But yeah, that's.
I like to think about that scientifically, because the NASA says that there's hundreds of other galaxies and universes. So why wouldn't there be other life? Why is it just this one planet that would have life?
Oh, how about the moon landing?
The moon landing, ooh.
Like how they said, oh, there's like a rock on the moon that had the sea on it, like it's supposed to be somewhere, or like how the flag moved in the wind, and there's like no gravity on space.
No gravity on space. In space.
In space.
No gravity on space.
Or like how when the guy took a picture, it had like a reflection of like I don't know what they're called, but the light
Light pole.
and it's like there should be light poles on the moon, but like they took it really far to like figure all that out and like put it together. So
What you're saying is you believe that.
no,
the
I
moon
don't know.
was
No,
faked.
I don't. No, I wasn't like alive. I don't think I was alive when we actually landed on the moon.
None of us were.
I was
alive.
told that Russia landed first. That's what I was told.
Well,
by, like,
No, they weren't.
The U.S.
So-
No, they landed a
They hit the moon first.
Hit.
Yeah, no, seriously. They launched a rocket. In fact, the U.S. and Russia during the space race were constantly launching rockets to see who could hit the moon first.
Just hit it.
Yeah.
We got it.
Then
Bullseye.
once that happened, then they started working on manned space flight.
And then now we
They're
have
just
Elon
aiming,
Musk
like-
trying to get to the Mars.
The Mars.
To Mars.
To the Mars, yes.
To the Mars, yes.
First to the moon, then to the Mars.
I think the second we find an element on Mars, a new element, it's gonna be called like Muskism or something like that. Named
Or
after
Marsium.
Elon. No,
That's
it'd be
it's
named
gonna-
after Elon Musk.
Cause he
Probably.
did he like shoot like a Tesla?
Elon Musk will
Muskism.
find water on Mars, bottle it, and sell it down here.
And people would buy it.
Yes.
Oh, about 2 of those for 10.
Why wouldn't you? It's Mars water.
You don't know. We could get tab and see
It's
it.
martyr.
It'd be way too musky.
And that was the 10th episode of Wildcat
No,
Podcast.
Have you heard about how the government is sending these chemtrails that's trying to kill you, like with the airplanes?
Mm-hmm.
It's water vapor.
Yeah, they're
No,
vaping.
it's musk water.
They're vaping on planes. Yep.
Yep.
Uh,
It's all full of Zeeks.
That was highly unnecessary.
no.
These are like all like against our rules, so this is really sad.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
I never read news.
An end to suffering. 10 quotes on what? How do you say that? Buddhist?
No.
He's like no. Anybody else any conspiracy theories? Because I'm not having any luck finding any.
How about this? This one pertains to a new world order. Denver Airport. Some theorists believe that Denver International Airport stands above an underground city which serves as a headquarters for the new world order.
Every time you say that, my 90s kid brain goes back to WCW and watching Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. It's like, this is the new world order, brother, of wrestling. Brother. I'm jumping in on this podcast, yes. I've got too much to say.
Okay.
So I got one.
I won. No, I won.
No,
I won. No,
no,
I'm
I-
going for
Rock,
no,
paper,
you're
scissors
small
for
one.
it. Rock, paper, scissors. One.
It's like,
Okay.
no, that sucks.
You'd think this would be easy.
So far, our listeners
Okay.
just hear like plop, 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 plop.
That was rock, paper, scissors. Apparently they don't know how to play.
No, I always like to just continue and just.
Okay, go.
Okay, I won that Michael Jackson is not dead.
Well, where's the theory behind that?
Well, it's like I gotta find it. Okay.
You didn't
There's
have
so
it.
many. There's like 1 fact, 2 fact, 3. No.
That's the same thing as like all the conspiracy theorists said Elvis is not dead.
He would be like 100 and like what?
170.
There are thousands of him walking around Las Vegas.
So that means one of them has to be him.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Which looks real old.
you're real old.
What's shaking?
Real old.
Okay, so this one says the first part. Look at this video of the ambulance leaving his residence. Why on earth is the siren not on? Normally, an ambulance with the patient loaded will turn the siren on, but no. This one even waits for the tourist bus to move first.
A lot of times for ambulances, if the person is already dead by the time they get there, they will not turn on the lights. They will only turn them on if they need to get them to the hospital immediately.
Did he like overdose?
I think so. Mr. Clements, you're an expert on that. How did
It was back in your days.
back in your days?
Back in all of my days,
do you remember how they say how Elvis died?
that was before I was born, but
Oh,
it was a
I
heart
thought-
attack on the toilet. Drug-induced heart attack on the toilet.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No.
but with the whole ambulance thing, why they didn't have the sirens on, they don't put the sirens on if the person is already dead or beginning to stabilize, so it's not an emergency.
Also,
Okay.
I'm
I have
not
mine.
done yet.
Why not?
Because she wasn't done reading it.
They even mentioned that the rat setter's
She
head
needs to be
had.
done.
The what?
You talk more time. I'm gonna flip you off your chair. They even mentioned that the rat setter's face had caved in and he did not have any tinting nose bridge. Now look
Say
up
that
at
one more
the
time.
image of
Wait, who's this over again? Is this over Michael Jackson or who?
Michael Jackson, but the picture's so funny.
Oh.
We started talking about Elvis, and I got lost.
I got lost too. I thought we were talking about Elvis there for a second. All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Michael Jackson.
Within a few hours of cardiac arrest, Michael Jackson's close staff personnel was fired. This seemed like a bizarre and prompt decision. Janet Jackson and Jackson family removed Michael's belongings from the house that he was renting in LA on June 27th. There are news clippings of his in YouTube, where you can see that even the bed sheets and blankets were removed from his house. The Jackson family stated that they were concerned about these would be stolen. Okay.
Well, actually, people pay a lot of money for anything belonging to any celebrity, so I don't doubt that.
Haven't they sold like celebrities' underwear before? Or something?
Yes,
Yeah, Shane
they
Dawson
have.
did.
Who was it? They sold like some
Shane Dawson did.
celebrities grilled like half-eaten grilled cheese
Or like
for like
you
a
know,
few
like
$1,000s.
Justin Bieber's water he drank out of, or like a couple.
So imagine how much money you can get for like the actual pillows that he slept on.
However, the LAPD investigation went to Jackson's death resulting from a drug overdose and possibility of homicide, which launched on 28th. At this point, his belongings were rented from his rented house had already been removed by the Jacksons. Despite this, the LAPD investigation contends that they found IV stands, IV bags, and prescription medications in oxygen tanks. So if Michael's belongings had really been removed, what actually did... So long. What actually did the LAPD find, and how do we know that this is actually, firstly, even present, and secondly, if they had not been planted there after the fact? So what they're saying is basically, after they moved everything out, there's still more. I don't know.
That's good. That is good. We are not reading that entire thing.
Okay, I got just another one sec.
Oh my gosh.
1 sec. Okay, so apparently, also there's pictures from him before he died, I guess. That said, like, oh, he looked like this.
Those
and
are air
then-
quotes.
Yes, and then like that's him before he died, and then that's him after, so that his hair looked different. It looked like it was fake, and that that his face was like different shape and changed. Okay. As clearly as you can see, the shape of his ears is completely different from the vegetable performer on the stage, and Michael Jackson leaving the doctor's office. These photographs were taken less than 2 weeks apart. That leads me to think that the original Michael Jackson maybe had his face restructured, while the other one on stage was an imposter. Note that the Michael Jackson leaving the doctor's office had a bracelet on his left wrist, which, as I pointed out previously, is something that Michael has been wearing for a few years now.
Okay, that's enough.
But hey,
That is more than enough.
this is the question that many are asking is: did Michael Jackson have doubles?
Okay,
No.
okay, that's the end of it. That's the end of that. No more reading that. Goodness.
There's so much more. Why do you
We don't
care?
need
There's
to
so
read
much
any
more
more.
we don't want to hear.
All right, it's my turn.
Read it on your own time. I don't want to read it on my own time. I just.
Okay,
Okay.
Alex's turn.
Malaysia Air Flights Flight MH370. The disappearance of Malaysia Air Flights 370 in Southeast Asia in March 2014 has prompted many theories. One theory suggests that this plane was hidden away and reintroduced as Flight MH17 later the same year in order to be shot down over Ukraine for political purposes.
Okay.
What?
It's
Nothing,
called-
we didn't think it was recording. Okay, continue.
Dang it. Later that same year, in order to be shot down over Ukraine for political purposes. Prolific American conspiracy theorist James H. Fetzer has placed responsibility for the disappearances with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Theories have also related to allegations that a certain autopilot technology was secretly fitted to the aircraft.
So the theory behind that was that Malaysia Flight 17 was a different plane.
No, it was the same plane for Flight 370.
I don't know about that. Because, well, it's weird.
Yeah. have another one.
You do?
Okay. Deepwater Horizon. Multiple conspiracy theories pertain to a fatal oil rig industrial accident in 2010 in the Gulf of Mexico, alleging sabotage by those seeking to promote environmentalism or strike by North Korean or Russian submarines. Elements of such theories have been suggested or promoted by U.S. radio host Rush Limbaugh. Basically, it's just saying that, like, Russia or North Korea destroyed a oil rig. Yes, Logan?
Okay, I have one. This one's over fast food. Here's why all fast food signs are red.
Isn't red like catch your attention more than like other colors?
Never mind, don't let
Yeah,
everybody...
especially at night.
That's not really a conspiracy theory. That's more of like basic marketing.
Yeah.
Red's a power color.
It really is.
It
Like
gets your simulating, it's like chew 5 gum simulating your senses.
and that was an ad by 5 Gum.
Oh, speaking of ads.
Speaking of sponsors, Logan, who are our sponsors today?
Queen Bee and...
The Queen Bee what?
This is Queen Bee.
Go
That
look at
is-
the papers that are over there.
I just want to be royal, royal.
And this is some parody royal music from Alex. Right, yeah.
Does it run in our blood?
Marketing. I don't know if you hear that, but yeah, that's what...
Come here and say it.
Queen Bee social marketing.
And Ingate.
Ingate,
Iron
what?
Gate.
Iron Gate
Iron
what?
Gate what?
Oh!
Just bring the paper over here.
There's so many of them.
I'll do it for you.
Oh, Iron Gate's insurance group.
This is brought to you by the Social Bee Marketing. What is that? I don't know.
Social work.
Queen Bee Social Marketing.
And Iron Gate
Iron Gate Insurance
Insur-
Group.
Insurance.
Insurance.
Gonna have to edit that.
Horrible mess. I apologize.
Is there a backside too? How many copies did you make?
I didn't make those copies.
That's the new conspiracy theory. Who printed those papers?
You did. Why'd you print so many of them?
Because it was the PowerPoint that I printed.
There's so many copies. All around me. Ooh, how about this? The hidden meaning behind famous logo colors.
Behind what?
The hidden meanings behind famous logo colors.
I don't know if that's more of a conspiracy or more social just
It's
marketing.
weird.
Because logos are designed to be simple and easy to remember. Because, like, big check mark. What company?
Under Armour.
Oh, ha ha ha.
Nike.
Nike. You got the 2 golden arches. What's that? McDonald's.
Arby's.
Yes, Arby's. Yes, you got me. Ironically, Zeke's over there looking at Nike shoes. But they're designed to be simple. What?
I have one. This
What?
is bizarre food-related conspiracy theories. Outback Steakhouse is Illuminati.
Want to say that again?
Outback Steakhouse is Illuminati.
I read this because like they
Stop,
have
why
like
you interrupted me?
like in one city. I think it's one city like they mapped out all the
Oh,
Outback
yeah.
Steakhouses and make like a pentagram or something.
I thought that was Arby's.
No, that's Outback.
Wait,
Oh
so
yeah.
how about Chipotle?
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
How about oh no, that's no. The devil's drink, the monster. Have you seen that girl?
Yeah.
She drinks it, she turns upside down. It's like, what does that mean? The most. Yeah.
Well, because like the 3 claw marks are supposed to represent like 666 and then the beast. But
The beast.
okay.
Nuts.
So I remember reading a few things about like when I was looking at Deepwater Horizon stuff a while back. Someone said Cthulhu did it. Cadbury cream eggs are Illuminati.
Is everything just Illuminati nowadays?
Yeah.
Ethan Ratzlaff is the
That
leader of what? What hurt?
David
That's your name
Hasselhoff.
wrong?
Yeah, you did, and it
How do you
hurt.
say your last? How you say it?
No, I'm not. gonna-
Ratzlaff.
Ratzliff. That really hurts. That really hurts.
Really?
Yeah, that really hurts. Kidding.
He looked like he was gonna cry. It was like,
Thank you for listening to the 10th episode of the Wildcat Podcast.
Anyway, but the Deepwater Horizon thing, people were thinking that Cthulhu, H.P. Lovecraft's creation destroyed it.
Yeah. I don't get how people think that's real.
I think they just want it to be real so bad.
Did you
because
see
they
where
liked
Cthulhu ran for
H.P.
president?
Lovecraft is pretty good if you can read it. How about you stop writing on his tables?
Editing that out.
Anyone else have a quick conspiracy theory before we
how about Bigfoot?
Eminem this up? All right, what's a Bigfoot conspiracy
I was just
theory?
wondering who has Bigfoot.
It's more of an urban legend, but yeah, go ahead.
Do you have Bigfoot? Or do you have another one?
I have something.
You're on Wikipedia. Get out of
We're being
here.
watched every day.
Huh?
No, we're being watched.
By the government.
Oh, through our cameras.
Yeah.
That was funny. Last year, people were putting tape over their cameras.
Camera. Stop. It's weird.
Do you have one, Alex?
Crickets. Conspiracy theory.
Was that one about crickets?
You gonna call me crickets now? I've been called crickets before.
Crickets are annoying.
Okay, here we go. Conspiracy. No, that's not. That's just life. Maybe stop.
Oh, yeah. I got one. The 1984 Pepsi 400 at Daytona, Florida, was the first NASCAR race to be attended by a sitting U.S. president. Ronald Reagan in... Let me recite that again. I'm going to edit that.
Say that again.
The 1984 Pepsi 400 at Daytona, Florida, was the first NASCAR race to be attended by sitting U.S. President Ronald Reagan, and was driver Richard Petty's 200th victory. Rival driver Kel Yarborough premature retirement to the pit road has prompted conspiracy theories to allege that organizers fixed the race in order to receive good publicity for the event.
Okay, so I have another one that's really quick.
All right, one more.
Have you ever read, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this right, John Bonet?
John Bonet.
How she passed away, how she got killed by her parents, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Apparently Katy Perry is not the new John Bonet Ramsey. Just,
Oh, I thought you were talking about John Panette.
I did
Like-
too.
I know. I'm
no, the
like,
little girl that passed away. I think
Oh yeah,
I think
a while back.
her murder's never been solved, I guess. Conspiracy theories about John Bonet's Ramsey murder is a different article for another day. But have you heard about the one about Katy Perry? In 2016, a YouTube video from 2014 resurfaced. Thanks to the bold claims from one David Johnson. Now I don't know who that is. But who believes John Bonet's murder was a hoax so Katy Perry, the singer, could emerge. Nobody died. Nobody got hurt, he says in the video. That sacrifice was only in name only. And that was to get someone and something was to become a star. His strongest proof is that John Bonet's parents, John and Pansy, look eerily similar to
Pronounced
Katy's.
John Bonet.
Similar to Katy. Freaking ad just came up one time. To John. John Bonet's parents, John and Pansy, look eerily similar to Katy Perry. Hey, I can't say it. I told you, you're probably saying this wrong.
John Bonet Ramsey.
Just say Janae.
Janae. Anyway, are similar to Katie's parents, Keith and Mary. Make this as what you will. So apparently. Oh, also, Tupac is still alive.
Okay, that okay.
and that's enough.
And that was the 10th episode of the Wildcat Podcast with conspiracy theories. Take us out of here, Zeke, with the outro.
Hold on.
Wait.
Goodbye.